The selection of the 2022 Wings to Fly Most Needy Boys and Girls from Eastern and Central Kenya was concluded with the neediest students joining the program.
Tukawa shortlist, tumeweza kufikia tuone ni nani atapata hii ufadhili ya Wings to Fly.
The Equity Scholarship Program is for performing children hailing from less fortunate backgrounds who are selected from across the country based on their performance in the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education examination.
If I get Wings to Fly scholarship, I can assist people of my village.
I felt a bit relieved from the stress, from the training that I was undergoing at my home.
We would collect scraps, plastics like that, and sell to those collectors, so we could get food.
I was done with drugs from the first day I entered in this institution.
Faith Nduko Ndisia is grateful to have been selected to join the Wings to Fly Program 2022 cohort. The firstborn of 3 hails from Kadhulumbi, Makueni County, some 35 kilometers from Wote Town. She lives with her grandmother due to death and abandonment.
My father had died 2018, then my mother 2019 went. I don't know where she went. Now I live with my grandmother. I was schooling Takadamvi Academy. I scored 376 marks in my KCPE examination. In my KCPE examination, the subject which I scored highest is Kiswahili with 78. I'm selected to go South Tetu High School. Challenges that I face at home, first is shelter, food, and electricity. After our father died, we stayed at home for 2 months without going to school. Our sub-chief managed to know that and talked to the director of the Takadamvi Academy, and thereafter, the director managed to sponsor me.
Kwa huyo mbwa ya mbinge na namba kwa yabaluka na yabakandia nyomba na ila bata nyomba yetebe na tena sub-chief wa kono ukianganiza community mwaka maka nombe ya pipi andakaimba na Gikuyu.
Nduko is optimistic about her future. She plans to use her wings to soar high, uplifting herself and those around her.
Mwalimu wa Faith wana ndiri madangu maipete toka tausosia tena twa wote kutwa wote tuo tunaweza pete katika interview tuo tunoki tuendelete wetapia na tena kio mwana kicha kibaye tio nicho na kikwatete na ila na kikwatete choka ndio chewe naye.
In future, I'd like to be a neurosurgeon. In our community, they are needy. They have some problems, but they can't afford the money to collect them to the hospital. So I can manage to assist them.
In Timau, Meru County, Frederick Motweri is a beneficiary of the generosity of his head teacher.
I was studying in our radio visitation, boarding and primary, and during my KCPE national exam, I scored a mark of 368, and I've been called to Nkobo High School. My favorite subject was mathematics and science, and both I scored a minor. I'm 16 years old. For my mother, I'm the only one. For my stepmother, she has 2 children. I went to my father with him taking care of me. When I was in class 5, he married another woman. Now my stepmother, they bore 2 children, and the stepmother now started denying me food, telling me to go and look for my mother to cook for me. That's when now even the school fees, my father was now paying for the children of my stepmother instead of me.
Nani angesimama, nani angesimama, nani angesimama mbele yako.
I'm the end teacher of radio visitation. It is 2019 that I came across a miserable boy that sometimes we had a walk and a place known as Maritat. I met some boys playing around, and then I just asked the children when they would direct to go to school, and one boy volunteered himself. So I obtained sick and helped the boy the much I could, and then that's the time I talked to the management that accepted me to have the boy within the school and just to offer me lunch The rest I was asked that I should know where to keep the boy and where to be the boy. So I decided to live with the boy in my house. And when he was appointed the president, even the discipline of the school has really improved.
Frederick's heart and mind is in giving back to society and has found opportunities in his surroundings to do the same.
I'm a Catholic, so I was seeing our priest and the other boys in the altar. I desired that career of being a priest. I see them helping the street children, the needy. My main aim is to just help the street children, the disabled, the way I was helped. I like digging because it's a kind of showing my gratitude. Instead of being lazy and sweeping, I have a chance. I was not told to go there, but it's my choice. I take care of the cows there. I wash the shed for them. And even the church, I'm a water boy and I do cleaning there.
Frederick has not had it easy. As a child, a fire almost took his life. Despite surviving the inferno, Mutweri developed a hearing disability. This eventually healed and no longer hinders his progress.
I was staying with my father and my mother. At the age of 3 years, it was at night when they started fighting. Unfortunately, I was thrown to the boiling water, and that's when I burned this side.
There are many children who are excelled in education for a long time, but most of them come from very needy families. Took Wings to Fly has really assisted the most desperate and in a very transparent manner.
The April long rains brought by a band of strong winds moving northwards have hit Mwea. The rains that are a blessing countrywide have left John Duncan Mwangi and his family with floodwaters to drain.
I scored 352 in KCP. I was in CMI primary school. I scored well in KCP Kiswahili. I scored 71. We are 7 siblings. This place we have been given, we don't pay rent.
Haranda ikaraga hagituika mwene akiuga tuthame ithuothe riu na mundu atanyitete mbeca cia guthii gukombora nyumba i hakiga muthuri wa njuria muthuri akorwo ha carpenter kana no wahe hau thutha wahorutagira wira no kitiana tondu ndino ndiraruta no ngetirwo go ringi kurima kana guthii miciri kana riria ndaga ngathii gakomba gia kuria no mwana omwe kuria tondu ria no wage ithe wa Mwangi twatiganire nake Mwangi ge kanini kena wiki igiri konde na hinya ndingiga sina mairi ta maya.
The journey to academic success has not been smooth for Mwangi and his family.
In primary school, I felt like giving up. The challenges that I faced in primary school, lack of food, lack of books, sometimes lack of writing materials. My mother took me to the Oscar Foundation and I learned there. After the year had gone, my mother did not have funds for primary school. So I decided to collect plastics and scraps for selling at 9 years old. Sell to those collectors so we could get food.
Tondu riria thinda thukuma igana ria 50 igana ndiragura mutu mutheri haya eno 50 nayo nyogo njuke ngure mboga riu ngakira uguo na ngatua gutina thina tondu ngatua kuna thina ndingirira ciana cino ngwe ngona mathina maria ndirona no ngwe riu ndiendaga kuona mathina macio njigua ndi muigani ndiendaga gutua tu ndiro sawa.
It takes a village to raise a child is a proverb that means that an entire community must provide for and interact positively with children. This has been especially true for Mwangi, who has been educated by well-wishers within his community.
These children are from the street. Sisters found these boys are going in the street, not living a proper life. So we invite them to our compound, gave them some food. Then later we realized that is not enough. So that's how we were having classes for them, like informal classes. And there later, when we bring them up to a certain standard, we put them into different schools.
In Mwea East, we've selected 8 students against the 37 shortlisted. We've confirmed that Duncan is coming from a very humble background and he was a street child before because the parents could not raise food for them, not even education.
I would like to be a nurse because I want to help the sick.
Beneficiaries to join the scholarship are selected by a Community Scholarship Selection Board (CSSB). For those involved in the selection of the Wings to Fly program, it is more than a job. It is a calling that is deeply rewarding.
I serve at Nanyuki CSSB. My roles are to coordinate and to ensure that we serve applicants who have applied for Wings to Fly scholarship.
If I get Wings to Fly scholarship, I'll be a motivator to those other kids who think they are done with their life, but I'll show them they are not, because I'll just give them a bit about me. If I told them that I was in the streets and reformed and now I have a scholarship, I am scoring good marks, they will also be motivated in a good way.
The Wings to Fly program supports scholars' holistic development through mentorship. Scholars selected to join the program go through an induction that successfully assimilates them into the program, including from Executive Chairman, Equity Group Foundation, Dr. James Mwangi.
You have come to know what it takes to be successful. So I hope that the next mountain will be easier to summit. You have lived your first dream. I'm confident the way you lived the first one, validated it, made it come true, so shall it be if you maintain the same principles that saw you through. And now you have hope that it's no longer a mirage. You have your education taken care of.
The future looks bright for these scholars whose dreams have received a new breath of life. With the scholarship, the sky is the limit.